All right, I'm here with Days of Our Lives Johnny, actor Carson Boatman. It is a pleasure to interview you again. We've spoken many times, and you're one of my favorite actors in all of daytime to interview. So don't tell anybody else, but I'm
I
telling
won't tell
you.
anybody else. And Bryan, the pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So how's everything going? Your daughter is what, about 15 months now, right?
Exactly spot on. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly spot on. Yeah, she's everything's great, man. She's getting big. She's starting to walk and talk a little bit and throw significantly larger tantrums than she used to.
How have you been navigating that?
Day by day. I am super fortunate in that I have a lovely, as close to perfect as you could imagine wife. It's actually her birthday today, so
Happy birthday,
celebrate
Jelana.
again. Thank you. We're gonna go and do a little lunch a little later. But yeah, man, I got a great life partner, and so it definitely makes parenting a lot easier.
That's awesome. Speaking of life partners, not your real life one, but your quote unquote real life one, Johnny and Chanel.
Hmm.
Guys have been through ups and downs this year. You guys are trying to make it work again. Were you happy that
Yes,
they gave it another chance?
I am, man. I mean, I think I've said this in like every single interview I've done, but I love working with Raven. We just get along so well, and she's super talented and super easy to work with, and so we're great friends, and so I'm always rooting for Johnny and Chanel just because I Chanel Raven is the devil I know, so I prefer to just keep working with her.
Very true. I wouldn't mention the devil when you're on Days of Our Lives. You don't want that being
Right?
comment.
Wow. How about that? That's kind of a callback.
Yeah. I don't forget anything, and neither do soap viewers. So you guys are in the process of trying to convince the character of Sophia to let you guys adopt her baby. What what's going into the thought of wanting to do that, A, which obviously some of that is probably stemming from, losing your own child on the show, the character.
Yeah.
Um, and you've also had some checkered things go on in your past. So speaking of the devil, I mean, how do you explain that to Sophia of how why you'd be a good father, that you were once possessed?
I think you're right. I think Johnny and Chanel always have wanted to have a child. I think that's something they both want, and it didn't work out the first time. They lost the baby, and then Johnny kind of did a pretty good job of kind of messing things up there for a little bit in his marriage. No, so yeah, yeah. To answer your question, I think Johnny and Chanel have always wanted to have a child. It's something that's been in their hearts and something they've wanted to share together. It didn't work out the first time they lost the baby. It was gut wrenching for both of them, and as they were trying to heal from that, you know, the relationship got a little dicey for a couple of different reasons, and so they kind of took a little bit of a break from each other. Now back together and have decided they want to pick up where they left off of wanting to have a child, but Chanel finds out she can't have children right now anyway because of a medical reason.
Mhm.
And so the next logical idea in that thought process is to adopt. And what do you know? Johnny's cousin's got a baby that he's looking to find some parents for.
How
So
convenient.
the timing is very,
Very
very
suspect. Yeah.
serendipitous. Yeah.
Also, I want to
Um,
just go back to what you just said. She can't have a baby, so it's a good time. But a really good thing for a soap would be she ends up sleeping with somebody to get back at Johnny, and she ends up pregnant with that person's baby. You should pitch
that
that.
would be,
See?
yeah. I'm not gonna pitch that. I'm not gonna pitch that because
All right.
it's a good idea. It's very dramatic, but like I said, I like working with Raven. So
Yeah.
um, where were we? I totally lost my train of
Sorry, no, I
thought.
totally cut
No,
you off. It was about whether you guys are suitable to be adoptive parents. You guys have gone through
yeah.
a lot.
Yes, we're trying to convince Sophia's mom to allow us to adopt her grandchild. I think Tate and Sophia are pretty on board because they're like, hey, we're teenagers. We're just trying to we're trying to find a place for this baby as soon as it comes out because we can't raise it.
Mhm.
Um, and Johnny and Chanel are hopefully that suitable couple. But Mrs. Choi is just not quite sure. She's very particular. She's very straight laced, and she's just not quite sure if the last name Demera is a good last name for her grandchild to have because of the tumultuous, dicey family history. And so it's up to Johnny and Chanel to try and prove her otherwise, or at least make her think otherwise. So they're kind of putting on a little bit of a, I would say they are accentuating their pros and mitigating their cons as
Mhm.
much as possible in front of Mrs. Choi. And I think they're doing a pretty good job. We'll see how that all turns out. As you know, Johnny's got a bit of a nosy, powerful father who tends to take the reins of situations and steer them in the wrong direction. So who knows?
You
Who
don't say.
knows?
You don't say.
Yeah, I do say. I certainly do say.
What are
Uh,
what are some of the obstacles do you feel as the character that cannot be overcome and that she has legitimate cause for concern?
Look, I mean, the family history speaks for itself. There's no way around that. It's there's news articles, there are stories and rumors, and even things that are happening in present time that just don't look so good.
Mhm.
Uh, so that's probably one that you just can't get around. I think everything else, if everybody just gets their story straight and sticks to it, I think you could probably get your way around everything else. But it's Salem, so
I was just literally gonna, you took the words right out of my mouth. In Salem, that doesn't happen. Does it cause any conflict between Johnny and Chanel in terms of really having to try to sell yourselves? Does it cause her to be like, well, maybe if you didn't cheat on me, it wouldn't be such a big thing, or you throw something in her face? Does it get to that, or are you guys really both on board with each other and it's super supportive?
no, we are all in. We have put the past behind us, and we're focusing on our future together, and really trying to make it so that future involves this baby.
Hmm. Would Do you know all the way through the end of the story? Or are you playing towards a goal or are you taking it as it comes? And obviously don't share the goal, so you still have a job.
Do I know all the way the
Do you
end
know
game
all the
of
way
this?
through to whether she says yes or not, or is it still it goes right now?
Gosh, I do. Gosh, that was
Oh,
like a
that's,
year
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, because you guys paid
Um,
for 18 years in advance, right?
yeah. What happened? Uh, I know how it plays out. It plays out. I mean, like everything, there's just a twist. There's a twist, and you know, I don't know how much I can say.
Yeah, don't say don't we
Yeah,
don't want to get you fired. We
yeah.
like Johnny being in town and Carson being on the show. Hey,
By the
speak
way, me too.
Yeah, well, I would think so. Speaking of being in town, out of town, you guys are going back on the road for the day players. How excited
Yes,
are you for that?
dude, we're super excited. I mean, I kind of not literally, but in a way, kind of the little boy in me kind of lives life one day player's gig to the next because I have so much fun on those weekends, and then every when we come back, it's like okay, 3 more weeks till we're out, 2 more weeks till we're out. Okay, next weekend we're gonna be
Yeah.
out. And so yeah, I'm excited to get out there. We're playing actually this coming weekend, March
Eighth?
8th and 9th.
Yeah.
We are we're playing Nashville and then Birmingham, Alabama.
And that's your
And we've
first time in
got
Alabama, right?
no, we played Huntsville last year.
Okay.
First time in Birmingham though, and we played Huntsville 2 years ago.
Okay.
But first time in Birmingham. Yeah,
Now
second time in Nashville.
I've been covering you guys being on the road since you guys started. Have you
Yeah.
changed up your act at all? Do you guys like kind of rotate songs in and out?
Oh yeah, we're changing it up all the time. Got to keep it fresh. Got to keep it
Of course.
fresh for the people. Otherwise, why come see the same show twice? Not that it's not worth seeing twice, by the way.
Absolutely.
But no, we try and mix it up, change. I would say every year we kind of cycle in like 10 new songs, and then 10 again, and then 10 again. It's kind of like a revolving door. And the fun thing about that is now we kind of know enough songs to where we can kind of on the fly just be like, oh, we feel like playing this. What do you guys want to hear? We can uh we can play around a little bit more based on what we feel like the room's wanting, and the type of music. So it keeps it interesting and fun.
Yeah, and you guys must bond. I mean, you guys have been together for a very long time, but you also hang out
Yeah, dude.
outside of work. It's nice to see you guys like chill outside of work and play cards and do whatever you guys
Oh
do
yeah. Oh
as
yeah.
gentlemen. But
Lost a lot of money to my
I,
fellow co-stars
another
over
reason you
the
want
last couple
Johnny
of
to
years.
stay in Salem, right?
Yeah, yeah. Um, no, yeah, I was with Brandon. What was it? Tuesday night, I think. For the we went to the Kings game with Dan Firigal,
Hmm.
and yeah. Also, back to the band. We're starting to incorporate for anyone who's interested. We're starting to incorporate a lot more original songs. More specifically, a lot of Wally Kurth originals from way back when Wally was a rock star. He still is a rock star, and a few of my own originals that I'm throwing into the set. So if you
That's
guys are
amazing.
interested
Like,
in that,
what are
yeah.
what are those songs like for you? Like, what genre would you throw them in, and what are you writing about?
Um, for me, honestly, for Wally and I both, I would say it's definitely kind of in that lane of country.
Hmm.
Um, writing about all kinds of stuff. Wally's got a cool song called "Make Believe" that he wrote back in the '80s when he was on Days. And it's about being on a TV show and how it's
Hmm.
not as glamorous sometimes as it may appear. And he's got another song about all. He's got songs of all kinds of topic contents. A lot of mine tend to be about my daughter or just stories that I feel like telling.
That's awesome. It'll be really cool for your daughter when she grows up to see that you wrote a song for her. When you're
Yeah.
writing it, do you get choked up knowing that, oh, this is for my girl, like this is a real person who I'm writing this to?
I've never finished the song without. I've never been able to fully finish the song. Yeah, no. So it's always a challenge.
That's actually really special and really beautiful.
Yeah.
Carson, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me. It is always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. You are one of the good guys in daytime. Maybe not coming from the greatest family in Salem, but you yourself are a class act and are always great to interview.
Thanks, man. I always appreciate you having me on. Seriously, thank you.
Of course.